Hello YouTubers, it's Arya here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about my nerve block on Wednesday. I've tried filming this video a couple of times, but it's just not coming out the way I wanted to be honest. Yeah. Anyways, this Wednesday was pretty bad. I had my third nerve block and everything that could have gone wrong kind of did go wrong. First, I'll start off with the procedure room. When they took me back, the nurse started the Versed, and fentanyl is what they use for pain. And I did feel that the Versed took effect because like my heart wasn't racing anymore and I felt really like relaxed. And then the doctor came in, and for some reason I felt every injection that he put in my back. I felt him inject about 4 injections or 3. Well, I guess different medications, right? But yeah, I could feel the needle going into my back all the way to the front of my abdomen, like inside my body. And it was kind of scary because I would imagine that, you know, when you're under general anesthesia and you wake up from surgery, except they don't know that you're awake, it could feel like that. So the pain was really bad and kind of makes me nauseous just to think about it, because I did the nerve block without any like anesthetic. There was no numbing, and something obviously went wrong. I don't know if the doctor injected like the numbing medication in the wrong place. I know they use x-rays, but I just felt everything and it was super painful. And you know, I can handle pain, and there was a point where I was going to say something, but by that time he was done and I was just trying to be strong. But next time I need to say something. But anyways, after he was done, I got really sad and I just started bawling my eyes out. I was crying, like everyone in the hall could probably hear me. It was like really loud. I just felt so depressed. I'm not sure why. And they were trying to distract me, but then also asking me if I was in pain, like what was wrong, and I didn't know. I just felt really sad. And I couldn't move my body, you know. They told me, can you get up? And I was like, no, I can't move. You know, it was kind of funny, but not really. So then they brought a gurney and they told me to roll over on it, and like, yeah, I was able to roll over, which is freaking great. So I rolled over on it and then I was crying, and they took me back to the post-op area, which is the same as pre-op area. But I've been to the surgery center 3 times, and the first time I went, I didn't really have a good experience either. But this time things were just not right. The nurse that I got in the post-op I've had before, and she was like a nurse that I thought she was new, but she just fills in, you know. Anyways, there came a time where I felt my leg was still numb and I couldn't move it at all, and like I had tingling in my hip and my leg. So I was like, oh my god, you know, like. And then my doctor came back and he checked, like he touched my foot and he was like, oh damn. So at that point I knew that maybe the nerve block didn't go into the right place, because your foot is supposed to get warmer if it's a good nerve block, because that's what happens, you know. And it didn't. It just didn't get warm. So then I was like, ugh, it's probably not a good one, you know. So then he and then he left and then came back, and then he asked how I was feeling. I was like, I don't have any pain, but my leg is numb. I can't move my foot. And so yeah, so then at this point I was like, you know, it's kind of getting like that time where they try to kick you out and discharge you, you know, and it always seems like they're in a rush. So I told him, if I can't move my leg, will they use like a wheelchair to discharge me? Like, will they take me in a wheelchair to my car or my ride? And then he was like, no, we don't do that, but we will make sure that you're able to walk before you're allowed to leave. So I was like, oh great. I was so relieved, because at this point I was like, okay, you know, like they're not going to try to kick me out prematurely. And you know, like there's this understanding that okay, my leg is numb, then, you know, I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna stay here until I get the feeling back in my leg. But that didn't end up happening. Like a couple minutes later, the nurse comes back and she's already wanting me. She's already like discharging me. She starts putting my socks on. She starts unplugging and ripping the tape off my feet, because they tape temperature probes onto your feet. And it's just horrible, right? And she seems annoyed and like she's in a hurry. And then I don't know if she was gonna take me somewhere else or if she was, you know, just discharging me. She didn't say anything, you guys. And so at that point, she told me to stand up and like try standing up or whatever. And then at that point, I told her, you know what, my leg is completely numb. I can't feel it. I don't think I can stand. And then she was like, well, let's see. Come on, we need to try. So then I was like, fuck, you know, like, okay, I guess, fine, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I can stand, maybe I can walk, even though it doesn't feel like I can. And, you know, keep in mind, I had like sedation, so I'm like not into like the right mindset to be like arguing with this lady. And like, she's a nurse, so I'm like, okay, maybe she knows what she's talking about, I don't know. But I just got a bad feeling like I'm gonna fall and it's gonna be her fault. And then yeah, I started wiggling myself to the edge of the bed, like I couldn't really move, and she put the rails down from the gurney, and she was on my left side and there was nothing that I could hold on to on my right side. And then she moved the recliner chair that they use to wheel you like everywhere. She put another one. Hi guys, sorry, my phone cut out because of the storage. But anyways, so basically I stood up and I collapsed, my legs gave out, I fell on my butt, and then my upper body and my legs started to twist to the right. Hi guys, sorry, my phone cut out because of the storage. But anyways, so basically I stood up and I collapsed, my legs gave out, I fell on my butt, and then my upper body and my legs started to twist to the right. I felt the pain in my hip area, and then my knee hit the chair. So then it started, well, actually I was numb, so I didn't feel anything, thank God. But anyways, this nurse wasn't even trying to help me up. Like, I put all my weight on my left leg and it was just horrible. And this nurse had the audacity to tell me that I sat down while she was trying to help me up. Like, while I was standing, I sat down on the floor, which is so stupid. She denied that I fell. I'm not sure what she told the doctor, but I saw her, like, it was like, I told her, I told you my leg was completely numb, that I couldn't feel it, and I fell. And she didn't want to admit it. And then I told her, you need to report it, I fell, this is an issue. And then she wanted to go tell the doctor something. I don't even think she told them that I fell. I think she said that my leg was numb, and that's it. She came back and she was like, well, the doctor says the numbness is gonna last like maybe an hour. And then I was like, I don't really care about the numbness, I just fell. I want to talk to an administrator because you're not listening to me. You're denying that I even fell. So I was really mad. So what ended up happening was that a different nurse took over, and before I was discharged, she tested my leg and she made sure that I could walk, and she got a walker for me and like a wheelchair to first try walking, you know. And so that was great. And she told me, oh my gosh, if you would have fell with me, I would have cried and would have felt so bad. And the other nurse didn't even apologize. She didn't even feel guilty. She was denying that I fell. And the next day, I felt so much hip pain on my right, a lot of tailbone pain, knee pain. Now my knee is burning. And I called an administrator, talked to him. He said, I'm never going to have you, you know, be with that nurse again. and thank you for calling and reporting this. I'm going to talk to the doctor and the nurses. But when I was starting to mention that, it always seems like there's a pattern that the nurses are trying to rush you out, he just said, well, we have a safe nurse to patient ratio. No, we're not short staffed. We're, one of the best in the city, the state, I don't know. But he got defensive. He really wasn't trying to hear it when I was trying to tell him that it always feels like they're rushing me out. And I even told him, in fact, the first time that I was there, a nurse literally told me she needed my space for another patient, and how soon was my ride going to be there. So yeah, anyways, I didn't really get an apology from him though. I definitely didn't get an apology from my nurse. And the other weird thing is that my doctor didn't even come to check on me, and I'm pretty sure that the other nurse that took over would have told him that I fell, or that I was saying that I fell, or whatever, and he just didn't. And to me, that's like negligent too. Like, isn't a doctor supposed to come figure out what's wrong, especially after a fall? And the thing is, there were so many signs, because in the beginning, that nurse had talked to me about fall prevention, and she asked me, why are you a fall risk? And then I told her balance, coordination issues. I have CRPS on my leg. Last week I was limping. Last week I fell in the shower. Well, I slipped in the shower. And my doctor knows this. And, from the procedure room, I could not get off of that table. Like, I had to roll over, and they took me back to the recovery room on a bed. So there were so many signs, and I feel like my fall was preventable, and that was just like the worst. Like, okay, I was crying, I felt pain during the nerve block. Like, that doesn't even compare to falling on the floor as a patient. Like, the nurse was right there. If my head would have been like, ugh, because of the drugs, maybe I could have understand that it was unexpected, not her fault. But I told her that I was numb, and she still was pressuring me to get up and show her, and it was just not good. So I had a lot of anxiety. I definitely didn't want to go back next week, or I don't want to go back next week. I'm afraid of falling. I feel bad that nobody said sorry. I don't even think my doctor really cares, or anyone cares, except for that nurse that took over. She was, she was like really, really nice. And she even told me, like, we're just seeing way too many patients, and we tell management this, and they don't listen to us, but when it's the patient, they usually do listen. But he didn't listen. I feel like he didn't listen.